Southside decided to come out to the basement today for a bench workout, and where a lot of us PR'd and touch weights we haven't touched or maybe haven't touched in a while. And I know a lot of them are coming off a few meets and stuff and trying to build up. And they were running a program today, a 5-5-3-2-1-1-1 program. And here's Chris Carson, who's an absolute animal, and he's gonna rep out 315, I believe, like 7 times with his feet in the air. I've seen this guy press 550 raw and 800 equipped, and he's only 250 pounds. Very, very strong guy, and that's also a guy that was spotting him there too, who's also up there knocking on 500s lower raw, as you'll see later down the road here. But he didn't like that bench, the west side bench with the fat pad, just because it was too high up. I really like that bench because, I'm 6'3", and it's a lot easier for me to get drive and be comfortable and everything. So they got set up on the power rack here where the bench is a lot lower and they could tuck up a lot better and stuff. And, this kid and another one were from Poland and they're only 18 years old. Very, very strong kids. And, this is their first set. It's 75%, I believe, for sets of 5. So that's a very, very good press for that age. And here's Dan repping the gym, making 315 look easy with a pause. And here's Noah, he's from Poland, and he's about to rep out 305, and he's only 189 pounds, I believe, or roughly in the 180s, whatever he said. And he's 18 years old. This kid's repping it out, no problem. Very, very strong kid. Both of them were very strong. Chris works with them and stuff, and obviously he's doing a really, really good job. Their technique was good, and they were very, very strong. And here's myself going for 345 for a double pause. A little belly hair showing. Looking really skinny, like usual. But, oh well. Here's Guy. He's a local from Newcastle, and he's a monster. He's going to make 365 look absolutely easy. He does sets of 5 all the way up to like 405, I believe. And it's just absolutely gross watching him do it. And it's easy. Just look how easy that is. I struggle to get a double with it later down the road here. But, hey, whatever, right? I try to keep up. And I think Dan goes for 3 paws here with 335. And he's a 198 lifter and a hell of a presser with his narrow grip and everything. He's working on the other ones. He wants to get in deadlifts and squats, and he's going to do the full meet with us here come May and everything. And I believe a lot of these guys are going out to that Rocky Steel Valley Classic. And they're going to have Texas equipment and everything. And it's going to be a fun meet, I believe. But it's real nice to see strong guys like Chris here. You see him just repping out 385, no problem. To come out to the gym, want to train, want to, try out a different atmosphere and everything. And here's Angie, she's a hell of a presser too. I believe she gets up to 185 today for a single, maybe with some slight help, but still, she's barely over 100 pounds. But damn good presser. And yeah, they're working their way up now. I still believe this is a set of 5 here. But making it look easy, touching and going. A lot of us are working on our pauses too, but at the same time, if we feel uncomfortable and we can't hold it, or finish the weight, we want to make sure we're finishing the weight and grinding the reps out so that it doesn't trick our central nervous system and such. And this is Keith Stitch here, who's a very inspirational guy, showing that anything's possible, and he's put up some big, big numbers considering, he's in a wheelchair and everything. And it was great to have him come out, and I think he got up to 245 raw and then started working with the Slingshot down the road. And this kid's making 325 look pretty simple. He's getting a little bit of help on the reps, but they're doing that just to make it smooth so that the central nervous system knows what it's like to finish a rep rather than stopping, missing the weight, and then, you just, as a spotter, just pulling it and racking it. You never want to just pull the weight up and just rack the weight because then your body doesn't know what it's like to finish a rep out and to grind the rep out. And when I go for my top set of 2 here in a little bit, that's how I train, and you'll see how my second rep's a grind, but I get it. And that's because I try to finish all of my reps and make them grind out reps so that my CNS knows how to push through it. A lot of these guys are also equip lifters too. And me and Dan here, we're just straight up raw. We don't do any equip. I don't even wear wrist wraps when I bench. It's a very rare thing. That 365 actually came up decently easy for a really tall, skinny guy. And then here's a guy with 385, and he's going to rep this out 5 times like it's, his job. Well, it is. These guys are bench press professionals. Like, this is the most I've ever seen 500 get tossed around in my gym ever, actually. We do it a lot with squats and deadlifts, but not so much the bench. We only had our biggest bench at 465 for a touch and go, but Chris hits a 500 raw at the end of the day, and Guy hits a 475, almost gets 500. And you'll see that on video here down the road too. And Chris is just pausing and repping out 405 like it's nothing. Dude's so strong. I know he's getting into his deadlifts and everything, and he pulled 675 at his last meet, and he's a sumo puller. There's Dan with 355, not a problem. He was going to stick with his program, 6 sets of 3 today, but then he decided, oh, what the heck, with this kind of atmosphere and everybody being fired up, why not go for a new max? And he does. He gets a 5-pound PR while being sore, because he did shoulders, and I also did shoulders just the other day. So we only had 1 day of recovery going into this because it was very spontaneous. I was supposed to be at a track meet today, but it being Western Pennsylvania and very unpredictable, we got a couple inches of snow. So the meet was canceled, and I was like, hey guys, meet's canceled, I can be here. And we all got together and we decided to bench. And this is one of my better doubles ever, is 385, and it went up better than I thought. I thought I was going to go for a single, but got a double in, felt good, and I go up to 405 next. And we got Noah here with 345. I think he gets a lot of help through these sets. Oh no, he got that first one in his zone. All right. Second. Nah, that kid, very strong for 18 years old. Jeez, oh man, when I was 18 years old, I think I barely benched 315, and it was not a technically sound bench like he's doing. My butt was in the air, it was crashed into my chest, I was gaining all kinds of momentum. It looked ugly. I'm pretty sure my left arm finished first, and my right arm was grinding up, and the bar was at a complete 45-degree angle. But I fixed it over the years, but I was never much of a bench presser, and that's why I wanted Southside to come out, and bench with us, and we got a lot of great ideas, and this is a long video of all the sets and reps. Not quite all of them. I didn't get all the accessory at the end, but we learned a lot in how they train, and they're very technical, just like I am with the squat and the deadlift, and I try to be in the bench press too. And here's Guy repping 405. No problem, 3 reps. Definitely could have got 5 reps. And Keith with 225. This is awesome. This is absolutely awesome to see a guy like this come out here, being able to rep 2 1/4, and not give a shit, and just wants to get better. I love it, and I like people like that to inspire people and pretty much let everybody know you don't have any excuses. You can get better no matter what, and you just got to deal with what you got. And I believe Chris has 425 on the bar right now for his set of 3, and it's just no problem. Not a problem at all for him. We got 335 here, and I can't remember if he got help through the reps or not. Might have, might not have. We'll see. Yep, he's getting them on his own here. And I know this is a set of 3. A little help now. Still, though, for being 18 years old, what more can you ask for? Plus, you got Chris Carson helping him out. They're going to be benching 400 probably before I'm really going to be benching 400. Well, I bench 400, but you know what I mean. They're going to bench 400 within the next year, I'm sure. And this is 10 pounds under Dan's current touch and go PR. And he stuck a little bit there. Usually when you stick at that point where he stuck, it's a lot of shoulder strength. And his shoulders were just fatigued. I bet you if his shoulders weren't so fatigued, he would have came in and he would have pressed probably about 15, 20 more pounds over his original touch and go. But, this is, like I said, a very last minute deal. And here's Angie here, and she's repping out. That was like 150, no problem. And here's this skinny guy, myself. And this was a double PR for me for sure. 405 for 2, but then this is what I was talking about here, about how I always finish my reps. And I just grind this rep out. And from there, I'm going to try and go for 430, which ends up ruining my day. And we'll get to that here in a little bit. But here's 365. Yeah, a little help. But still, I like the spots. They got great spotters. You see how they grind the reps out? Now this is a great way to overload your central nervous system. Feeling the weight. Your body thinks it's moving the weight, even though it's only getting a little tiny bit of help. So then when it actually comes to competition time, you can grind through those reps and you'll be able to tough it out. So it knows what it's like to lock it out and finish it, in other words. That's Lenny there, digging through that 365. He's also an equipped guy, and they kind of go back and forth, though, from the raw and the equipped. At least I know Chris does for sure. And Guy is raw. I don't think I've ever seen him lift equipped, actually. My God, here's 455 for a double. No problem. Yeah, I could squat that, I'm just letting you guys know I can squat that for a few reps. But, yeah, and then here's Chris, same weight. They're pretty much about right around the same in the bench. It's just Chris pulls away with the 500 win today and everything. And I think he weighs exactly 252 or 254, somewhere in that area. And then Guy today was 237. And so, Guy got our 242 bench record, and Chris got our 275 bench record. And our record board looks awesome. We got almost two 500-pound benches up there, two 700-pound deadlifts, and a couple just shy of 600 squats. And my gym's only been here for 2 years. So I encourage, anybody that's watching this video, if you want to come out and you want to train, you want to get your name on the record board and set records, please do. Please contact me and we'll get a day set up and we'll get after it. And there's Angie there. That was 160. She got a solid single on it and a little help on her double. But still, though, very, very strong girl. And she's very dedicated to the sport, too. And these guys bring a great team atmosphere into the weight room and everything, where this is like an individual sport, but they help each other out, and they're there, and they're always backing each other up and coaching each other, which is awesome. You can't ask for anything better than that. And here's my man Dan, hitting 390. I think this looked better than his 375 personally, but he grinds through that rep. Boom, right through the top. Just those shoulders are fatigued, but I bet you he hits 400 here at the comp coming up with a pause. We'll all be fresh, we'll all be hyped up and ready to go. And he'll be weighing in a $190 something, benching twice his body weight, which is phenomenal, honestly. I'm trying to get there, but this whole squatting and deadlifting thing is keeping me from getting twice my body weight. That's a hell of a fight right there, 385. Just for that kid to be able to hold on to that weight is impressive. I don't know if you guys have gotten close to double your body weight or whatnot, and you've held that in your hands. It feels like you're getting crushed. I'm not going to lie. Your face gets red, blood vessels want to pop, and then it's like, why do we do this to ourselves? Oh, I don't know, but it's fun. And you keep on going. Now, I'm going for 430 here. This is going to be a 5-pound PR, but I've had problems with my left bicep tendon. As soon as I go down, something pops, and I said, just take the bar. And they all just hop in, grab the bar, and I messed my shoulder up. And I was pissed, ruined the rest of my day. It was like a solid 9 in pain right off the bat, and it is what it is. I don't think anything tore, so I'll live to train another day. And here's guys 475, grinds through it, did a little swimming motion is what they called it, but killed it. And here's Chris about to kill his. And this is at their top working sets too. It's not like they came in to max out. They're actually doing working pyramids, so they're fatigued going into this. They're not even 100%, and they're still putting up this kind of weight. And these guys over here, oh, that was easy. Good pause, good rep, not a problem. Oh, and there's Keith, 245. This is awesome. This is great to see. There we go. He gets a little bit of help. Just a tiny bit, but still. How awesome is that to see this guy getting after it and being able to bench what he can bench? I love it. I hope you guys are inspired just like I am, and then realize like we ain't got nothing to complain about. Us being sore and whining about being sore just reminds us we're alive. All right, here's a box 65, and she has such a crazy arch. I don't know how these girls load up like that. That's just impressive. Wish I could arch like that, but I don't have that kind of mobility whatsoever. Then I believe this is 365 on the bar here. And it's funny, these guys, I'm talking about how my gym's small and I need to upgrade. And, we have 3 benches. We have this one in the power rack here, the Rogue West Side bench, and a York bench in the corner. And I'm over here like, oh man, we're running out of space and this and that. And these guys actually, their whole gym's the size of just this one room. They have 1 bench, 1 bar. And they're like, what are you kidding me? Like this gym's huge. And I was like, really? And they're like, yeah, they train in a tiny little room, 1 bench, 1 bar. And they're actually lifting with a Rogue Ohio bar right now, which is designed for more Olympic lifting, and they love it. It actually has whip and roll and stuff in it, and it's better than the bar that they got, they said. And I was kind of shocked. I was like, oh, well, I guess I'm taking things for granted here at my gym and don't realize how we're progressing and we're getting nicer and nicer equipment. Even though it's used and stuff, it's just how you use it. Here's Dan. He's going to get some slingshot work in. A lot of us, once we get to our top sets and we start failing, now we bust out the slingshot, which is a great training tool for raw lifters. This is 410 here, and Dan goes for 2, which I think was a slingshot PR for him. I know he's gotten 4 1/4 for a single before, but for a double, I'm pretty sure that's his best. And here's a guy going for 5 hundo. This is insane. I've never seen 500 loaded up on 2 bars. It's actually on the other rack back there behind them. So we got 1,000 pounds right here and a 10-foot distance apart from each other. But a guy just misses this weight, I'm pretty sure. He's real close to it. And, I mean, once he gets a couple more training weeks in, going into his next meet, he's definitely going to kill it. He'll blow it up. Yeah, he sticks a little bit right there, but then they just help him through the rep a little bit. No problem. He's just a few pounds off, that's all. And then Chris here, I'm pretty sure it's a touch and go, but either way, this is 500 pounds. I mean, Jesus, just look at that dude's biceps. They're as big as my thighs. But, yeah, like I said, I've seen him press 550 raw before, and just all-around strong guy, raw and equipped guy. That comes up. That's a smooth rep. Good press. Strong dude. Very, very strong. We got Keith here. And I think the yellow slingshot's the lightest slingshot, so it doesn't give you as much help as all the other ones. I think yellow's the lightest, then it goes like blue, red, black. I think. Don't quote me on it, but that's how I think it goes. And I'm pretty sure Angie here is going for a $185 on this one. But this one's going to be just a smooth ground out rep and everything, getting used to it. They, like I said earlier in the video, they really like training this way to overload the central nervous system, and I totally agree with it. I like it a lot. And you see, she even locked that out on her own, though, too. She just needed a little help off her chest. But that's a great way to get that central nervous system firing up. I think this is 375 here, and for being 18 years old, this is honestly amazing to see this kind of weight. We got an 18-year-old kid in my gym who's, just an absolute animal, too. And, I know he's pressed, I think, 370 or 375 touch and go. He's pulled 535 and he's squatted 465. And he's like 205 pounds to 210 pounds on average. He's very, very light. So he's an absolute animal all the way around. Was a hell of a football player, too. And unfortunately, he had his ACL torn his senior year. But, he's found a love for weightlifting. And he's going after that. Got Lenny here with 410, it looks like, or maybe 415 for a smooth rep. We got 515 on the bar there, but I don't know what happened to that video. It just disappeared. I'm pretty sure they probably forced that rep out on Guy too, but we will go from there. And Keith with 275. Actually, I'm pretty sure he used the slingshot at the monster bench, and he put up 315 with a slingshot, which is considered a quip, but it's not like wearing a bench shirt. The bench shirt adds a whole lot more to it. But don't quote me on it. I can't quite remember. But either way, awesome seeing that guy in the gym. And he's funny as all hell, too. I want him to come back. He's a good guy. And that's 185 there. So that must have been 175 on our last set. It's hard. I got bad camera angles, and a lot of the footage just up and disappeared there. And then we got another set at 275 for Keith. That actually looks smoother than the last one did. And then Angie's trying a $185 again here. Yep. Gosh, she has probably the best bench technique out of all of us here. She's a nice wide grip, huge arch, spring loaded, and just fights through that rep. Actually, if I remember correctly, she's so serious about this. Last year at the Monster Bench and Deadlift, she wanted to try and go for some kind of record, and she was pregnant. And she thought it was a good idea to use her pregnant belly because it shortened the distance. That's how crazy she is about this. And her husband, Andy, who's a hell of a deadlifter, with those genetics combined, are probably going to have a really, really, really strong kid. Like, Andy, he's only like 165 pounds, and I've seen him pull 550, and he's been chasing 600, and he's going to pull 600, I bet. And it's just a hell of a pound-for-pound deadlift and everything. So he doesn't quite fit in with the Southside guys. These guys are a lot of bench-specific, even though, Carson does full meets, and guys getting into the deadlifts and stuff, they're just great pressers all the way around. Good guys, too. It was fun being around them. They're funny and very, very smart. So knowledgeable in the presses. And, man, I learned a lot today with their accessory stuff, too. And they were shocked when I was just like, I don't really train arms too much. And they're like, what? I was like, yeah, let's just do my compound lifts and kind of call it a day. And sometimes I hop in with people and do some arms. I should train arms a lot more because I'm really, really skinny. I got to quit being skinny. But, I weighed into 224 today, and I was like, yeah, I'm really light. I should get back up to 240. I look a lot better at 240 than I do at 220. But it is what it is. I want to get 220 for the meet and still stay strong. But, oh well. Now we got, 545 here, and this is the black slingshot, and I think they said it's a double ply. And I've never seen so many slingshots. It was like, hey, we got a slingshot for this, a slingshot for that, and a slingshot for this. And they're just pulling them out of their bags left and right. And it's like, we just got two. We got a double X and an extra large, and they're just red. And they work. I mean, they serve their purpose. All right, 295. Let's go, Keith. He's driving it up. Tiny bit of help. Tiny bit of help. All right, and Angie's busting out the slingshot here with, what was that, 205, which is probably close to twice her body weight, if not twice her body weight. It's kind of funny. She was telling me she grew up right up the road from my gym, right here in Volant, this tiny little town. And I was like, oh, that's pretty cool. What a small world. Because, a lot of these lifters are local. I know, Chris and his kids are coming from Ohio, and a lot of those other guys are from Newcastle. Newcastle's only 10 minutes away. So we got a lot of strong powerlifters in the area. And, I want to try and help get their names out there as professional weightlifters, especially, Guy and Chris, with the numbers they're putting up are just phenomenal. Even these kids, my God, look, 365, just no problem. Whatever it takes, look at that right there. And they both go to Poland, so that's their t-shirt there. A little motivational quote on the back. What we got here? 455. This is Lenny. There you go. Good press. He does that suicide grip. I don't trust it. I've seen this suicide grip fail multiple times, and I'll never do it. I'll wrap my thumbs. I'll take my chances. But I know in the end, like, I'm not that great at bench pressing. It'll be a miracle if I ever hit twice my body weight in a meet or even in gym training. I'm going to keep chasing it, but, you know, that's something I don't know if I'll ever hit with all those deadlifts and squats I do, because my body weight keeps going up. My bench doesn't go nowhere. But, hey, whatever. I'm going to run with what I'm good at, and that's deadlifts and squats, so we'll take it. These guys are going to help me with my bench press and hopefully get to a new level as a 220 lifter, which actually I might be moving up to 242 here soon. Who knows? And this is insane. We're watching Chris rep out 315. I'm pretty sure he does it 21 times. No, I was busting his balls. I was like, yeah, I can bench 225 about 21 times, so, you know, just so you know. He just looked at me and laughed. I was like, yeah, I can't bench 315 that many times, ever. But, man, this guy is just so strong. So strong. I'm pretty sure he's chasing a world record, too, in the equipped division. And in his weight class, it's only 805. And I think he hit 800, not this past meet, but the meet before it. Which is just unreal. Unreal. There we go. These guys, let you guys know, obviously there's a lot of footage. We were benching for about 2.5 hours. That's a long, long day of benching here. And then this is Lenny here with 5 hundo with the double ply sling. Hope we're making Mark Bell proud out there that we're using the Slingshot and kind of advertising it. Hopefully you guys subscribe to my channel and watch these videos and share them so, you know, we get the name out there a little bit more. But we got a guy here on his drop set of 405, and he kills it. Oh, man, Spoto presses. How did I forget about those? Obviously, if Eric Spoto, you know what I mean, does it, and does it religiously, it works, because he benches 722 pounds raw. This is the most interesting thing I've ever seen. I'm going to build a set of this. They do 5 reps. After 5 reps, they hold it up and hold it for a 5 count, and then continue until they get to no board. After they go no board for 5 reps and hold it for a 5 count, then they finally rack it. Absolutely awesome workout to burn those triceps out. And then they showed me another workout after this. I didn't get it on video because I was in such awe, where called thirds with an easy bar and everything. Later down the road, I'll probably get that on video, but I have to credit these guys for these awesome accessory exercises that are going to help our bench presses and everything. Like I said, Southside, awesome group of guys. Strong bench pressers, very knowledgeable. I really appreciated them coming out. I want them to come back out, and I know they want to come out for some pulls. You'll see some more videos and everything. If you guys can, please share the videos, subscribe. And if you have any questions, feel free to ask. If you want to come out and lift, come out and lift. It'll be free. We just want people to get after it and spread the word. All right, thank you for watching.